verses 581 to 613, from chapter 3, verses 86 to 117. In order to remove the notion of birth and to accomplish that of no birth, I teach the doctrine of no cause, but this is not understood by the ignorant. This all is unborn, but that does not mean that there are no objects. They are seen to be like the city of the Gandharvas, a dream and Maya. Objects are here, but causeless. Tell me how things are unborn, without self-nature and empty. When things are seen by transcendental knowledge, they are not subject to combination and are unobtainable. Therefore, I declare that they are empty, unborn, and without self-nature. Considered one by one, combination is there. The world appears to exist, but nothing is really existing. It is not as it is conceived by the philosophers. When combination is dissolved, nothing is left to be seen. As is a dream, a hairnet, Maya, the city of the Gandharvas, and a mirage which rise into view causelessly, so is the multitudinousness of the world. By keeping down the theory of no causation, no birth is demonstrated. When the theory of no birth is declared, my law I is never destroyed. When the theory of no cause is pointed out, the philosophers are horrified. Mahamati asked, how, by whom, where, and wherefore does the theory of no cause make its appearance? The Blessed One answered, when things or samskrita are perceived as neither subject to causation nor above it, then the view maintained by the philosophers of birth and destruction is done away with. Mahamati asked, is non-being no birth? Or does it look for causation? Or is it a being's name without a corresponding reality? Pray, tell me. The Blessed One answered, non-being is not no birth, nor does it look for causation, nor is it a being's name, nor is it a name without a corresponding object. Here is a reality which does not belong to the Shravakas, Pratyeka Buddhas, nor to the philosophers. Neither does it belong to the Bodhisattvas who have entered upon the seventh stage. This is what characterizes no birth. The doing away with the notion of cause and condition, the giving up of a causal agency, the establishment of the mind only, this I state to be no birth. The getting rid of the idea that things are caused, the removal of the dualism of imagined and imagining, the being liberated from the alternatives of being and non-being, this I state to be no birth. The mind liberated from its objective world, the getting rid of the twofold svabhava, or parikalpita and paratantra, a turning up at the seat of mentation, this I state to be no birth. No external existence, no non-existence, not even the grasping of mind. Things are like a dream, a hairnet, Maya, the city of Gandharvas, a mirage. The abandonment of all the philosophical views, this is what characterizes no birth. Thus, too, all these words will be understood. That is, emptiness, having no self-nature, etc. The world is empty, not, indeed, because of its being empty, but because of its being empty in the sense of being unborn. A system of mentality may have its rise and fall owing to causation. When there is a dissolution of the system, there is neither birth nor annihilation. When a dissolution somewhere takes place among the members of the system, such existence ceases and is discriminated by the philosophers by means of such categories as oneness and separateness. Nothing is born. Being is not, non-being is not. Nowhere is being and non-being, except that where there is a system. There is the rising of things and their dissolution. It is only in accordance with general conventions that a chain of mutual dependence is talked of. Birth has no sense when the chain of dependence is severed. As there is nothing generating, there is no birth, free from the faults of the philosophers. I talk of this conventionally according to the theory of concatenation, and this is not intelligible to the ignorant. If there is anything born somewhere apart from concatenation, here is one who is to be recognized as an advocate of no causation, as he destroys concatenation. If concatenation works from outside, like a lamp revealing all kinds of things, this means the presence of something outside concatenation itself. All things are devoid of self-nature, have never been born, and in their original nature are like the sky. Things separated from concatenation belong to the discrimination of the ignorant. There is another kind of no birth, which is the self-essence of things, realized by the wise. Its birth is no birth, and in this no birth there is a recognition. When this entire world is regarded as concatenation, as nothing else but concatenation, then the mind gains tranquility. Ignorance, desire, karma, etc., these are the inner concatenations. A ladle, clay, a vessel, a wheel, etc., or seeds, the elements, etc., these are external concatenations. If there is any other existence born of concatenation, this goes against the law of concatenation. Those who hold this view are not established in the principles of correct reasoning. If there is an object coming to exist and yet is non-existent, by what law of causation is there the recognition of it? Things here are of mutual origination, and for this reason causation is declared. Heat, fluidity, motility, solidity, such notions are discriminated by the ignorant. There is a system of relations. No individual objects exist. Hence the denial of self-nature as constituting the realness of objects. The physician varies his treatment according to diseases, though there is no difference in the principle of healing. The difference comes from varieties of diseases. In like manner, in order to save generations of beings from their diseases of passions with which they are ill, I teach people with my doctrines, knowing the power of their senses. My doctrine does not vary, but the passions and powers are differentiated. There is just one vehicle. Auspicious is the Eightfold Path.